You know what I mean?
Can we get more life?
We got to get to that point where we doing it because we want to, but I know exactly that.
I wanted to too. I wanted to too, but I also like you also want to like.
Can we get a more life to Johnny J?
More life, yo.
More life. And I wanted
more blessings, boy.
I enjoy my time, but sometimes you like yo.
Yeah. You be dealing with a lot, bro. You know what I'm saying? Niggas got a lot going on in the world. You feel me?
More life. We're gonna take a shot, man.
Shot to more life.
Easter Eve, tomorrow's my born, but we're not here for that. You know what I'm saying?
Now we here for that too. You heard?
We are here for that.
Shot.
Turning 24.
Right. 24 plus.
Plus Kobe plus.
Yeah, man.
Question to the panel with all this vaccine talk: Are we pro-vaccine? Are we against the vaccine?
I'm anti-vax, proudly. I'm proudly anti-vax.
Super quiet.
I respect everybody's, choices and decisions.
Doing y'all thing, but it's super
I'm
quiet.
I'm pro anti-vax.
I'm pro-life.
I'm pro-life.
I'm pro-life.
I'm pro immune system.
Pro immunity.
I'm pro whatever you feel that your body needs. So it's
talk about it.
Everybody's administered for their own body. Right. But at the same time, like there are rules and the things are going on. So sometimes you gotta like read the room and see how things are moving. And shit can get in the way of shit. And like I said, everybody's the dominion. They have dominion over their own bodies. Everybody has different stories and everybody have different reasons on why they feel they need to get it. I don't like the whole bullying tactics on forcing people to get it.
Yeah, which I was about to say.
I'm vaccinated, but I don't like the bully tactics of forcing. Yeah. If my niggas don't want to get vaccinated, they want to get vaccinated. If my niggas want to get vaccinated, they want to get vaccinated.
Well, and it's deep. You said dominion over your body, and that's my issue. It's like now when outer sources are just trying to force mandates on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that means technically you don't have any kind of ownership over your own body.
But at the same time, like, rules are rules. Like, for example, like if you work in certain places, you got to wear certain clothes or you got to do certain things. But in the team construct, if you're talking about basketball, like the Kyrie situation, like, where, like, all right, if you're going to potentially miss these games, I think you should retire because now when you're playing on a team, you're not playing for yourself. You're playing on a team. Like, you're playing for other people. So when it gets in the way of that, that's when I'm like, yo, bro, like you might as well just don't even play around.
I hear you.
Just don't play. And like, if you don't want to play, you should retire. I legit feel like Kyrie should retire because he does a lot of good. I feel like Kyrie does a lot of good, and if he retires, he can put a lot of that good into other shit instead of like this basketball shit. Because I feel like he's
dictate how he moves.
I feel like he's one fit in and one fit out to begin with. That's how I feel.
I feel like Kyrie is a genius in a world with a lot of mentally ill people.
No. He didn't say critical thinker. He said genius.
I think he's a genius.
Genius, John.
It's just that we are so crazy and out of our minds as a collective of people that we look at the people who are actually sane. We look at them as nuts. This nigga is crazy.
Right.
You not conforming to everybody else.
Right.
You don't want to be a sheep. What's wrong with you?
Right.
There's a quote. There's a name of album on. My guy put me on.
Kyrie's always been like that, though.
He's been like that.
Facts.
But my dude put me on with an album. The artist named Chris Crack or something. We always be looking for the underground artist.
Cracker?
Chris Crack. That's mad funny. Chris Cracker.
No disrespect.
No disrespect. Like, that's your name. But yeah, the name of his project was Sheep Hate Goats. And I really like that, bro. As simple as that statement is, bro, it's so deep. The sheep hate the goats.
That's profound.
That's profound.
That's super profound.
You know what I mean?
Which are you?
That's a real shit. Which are you?
Which are you?
Which
are you, John? Are you a sheep or are you a goat?
You know what I mean? I'm here to be the GOAT, man. The greatest of all time. The greatest version of myself of all time. I'm here to be GOAT, baby.
I'm a goat over my own dominion over the people.
Absolutely.
I'm a goat in my own family, my own mini village.
Absolutely, as you should.
You know what I mean? So like I said, different villages got different rules and shit that we abide by. So
yeah.
You know what I mean? But like I said,
I feel like every man is supposed to be GOAT, king of his domain.
Right.
When you're not able to do that, that's when the problem lies. And this is why I'm anti-Babylon and capitalism, because it goes against us being the kings of our domains. But that's a different topic.
You're right. And that's people. So you talking about people.
You gotta let them go.
Yeah, but are you talking about people as a collective, though? People aside, are you just talking black people specifically or people as a collective?
As a collective and individually, I feel like individually, you as a man are king of your domain.
As you should.
The leaders of the quote-unquote leaders of the collective are public servants. They're supposed to make sure that we are all kings of our domain and we are equally, whatever is going on in our society is beneficial to everybody. What's going on in our, right now is upside down. The leaders, they're vampires. They just sucking the blood out of everybody else and draining people. So people out here suffering. We plagued in the black community with mental illness and things of those nature. You feel me? So, and that's for me personally. I know we gonna segue into that topic, but for me personally, that's a big issue. When you're not king, when you're not able to protect and provide for your family and your community, you already start losing your shit.
So your whole thing is freedom of choice, basically.
Absolutely.
Freedom of choice. Okay.
Absolutely.
But I feel like people are given the choice. They ain't locking people up.
Nah, I mean, giving no choice.
I feel about
Not
this
yet.
the same way. Not yet.
Not yet.
The same way they was trying to tell women about abortions and things like that. It's the same thing with the vaccine.
You have an outer force trying to dictate
what you should and shouldn't do with your body. It's not okay.
And then they habitual liars. Because I was just watching something on the gram, and it's like you got Fauci. There's another lady I be seeing. She looked like she got red hair or something. But they was all like a couple months ago, like, no, mandated vaccines. No, that's wrong. No, we would never do that. Da-da-da. You fast forward to now, they all switch their talk. It's like, yeah, we got to do this. Da-da-da. So it's
very
like
contradictory.
Very contradictory.
I think because times change and we're dealing with a different beast. There's always gonna. I think with this life. I think in this life, there's always gonna lead. We're gonna always experience events that potentially may lead to contradiction.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like real life events. Like, tell me someone who hasn't been contradictory. Like some person who lived a life that hasn't been contradictory and made a contradictory statement their whole entire life. Like,
Malcolm X.
Their whole entire life. I mean, God rest his soul. God rest his soul. But
I look back now and I'm like, hey, you still have not contradicted yourself.
I can talk on that. God bless his soul. He hasn't lived a longer life. So I'm not saying he would have switched up.
But I'm saying I'm vouching.
I'm not saying that.
But in his time,
you're right. In his time. So I guess.
And John, what I'm saying is like he might have in his life.
You'd have been the same radical person.
But listen,
I'm
he
saying
already changed drastically in the way that he lived because he was a drug dealer. He was a pimp
absolutely
initially.
Yes.
And then once he got on that righteous path, he ran with that the whole way.
The whole way, and we could vouch. He's not here. But we could vouch if his word stands true. He should be in his 90s by now. We are present right now. We could look back to his speeches and we could vouch if his words are true. Right. And from my looking back, that man ain't tell no lie.
It's funny.
It's true to this day. Like what's the boxer name when he that to this day? Right. To this day, bro. Deontay Wilder.
Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
The one that got knocked, the one that lost.
Yeah. He
lost Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
How do you think how you think all this correlates to like therapy and shit like that? Does it correlate to therapy?
Well, like I was saying earlier, I feel like your conditions. We are products of our environment. So your conditions directly affect your mental health. You know what I'm saying? So like for me at least, I know that affects me. The capitalism. The work, Babylon, everything affects me. I don't know about everybody else, but I wake up in the morning and I gotta have my ritual to get through. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, because it be gangster. A lot of times you be like, fuck, why am I doing this shit? Right. Why we all agree to this?
I mean, whether you getting vaccinated or not affects your mental, but can affect
absolutely.
Mental health.
Even being
like applying for jobs now. That was the topic of discussion we had. Like jobs now is like, yo, that's a real question. Are you getting vaccinated? That's when I was at that Bubsy's restaurant, like there was two lines now. It was an outdoors line and it was an indoors line. Indoors was like, yo, you gotta like show your vaccine shit to sit inside.
When you think about
it's like different like shit people gotta experience.
When you think about the two lines, don't just make you think about segregation and separation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Now all you're doing is you're putting people against each other. You know what I'm saying? The people that are vaccinated, they pro-vaccination, they feel a strong comment, and you have the people that aren't. And they feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Now businesses are only rocking with certain, not the race things. Like, if you ain't got this, we not feeding. Fucking with you. You gotta sit outside.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. But the money is going.
Weather ain't gonna be nice outside.
Weather's not gonna be nice.
It's gonna be a cold winter.
It's gonna be a cold winter. It's gonna be cold. It's 30 degrees, but just sit outside. We got a heater out there for you.
We got outdoor heaters for you.
It's crazy. Insanity. And even
dates, even meeting new girls. Like I think it was somebody on the podcast. Like yo, like that's the topic of discussion. You going on a date sometimes, like whether you want to talk about it or not. Like I don't care about it, but like people going on dates, that might be a topic you might talk about with shorty. Like, oh, you vaccinated? Nah, you? Yeah. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, what if like you might view shorty might view you differently? Right?
I'm gonna be honest. Like certain conversations shouldn't even be brought up.
That's also like, you're right. Niggas don't be talking about their health shit like on a date. Like I don't tell you like yo like because asthma
you know what's crazy? Like, somebody, you know what I'm saying, you meet somebody and ask you if you vaccinated, but they won't ask you if you get tested. This shit is dumb.
Why are we asking that question?
It don't add up.
I don't care about if I'm vaccinated, but you ain't asking me.
But it's a relevant question. It's a relevant question because that can affect if the certain spots we're going to. I feel like the question is going to lead to like, yo, babe, can we go inside? It's indoors. You vaccinated? If not, we can go find somewhere else to go. Like that could be like you could literally without telling her, you be like, let's not go. Let's go somewhere else. That might come up. You know,
that's fine. But also, it was like
I'm wrong in that.
Not at all.
It might come up, but you will also be dealing with somebody. Don't talk about going to the doctor.
Absolutely not.
However, her, him, her, like those conversations don't come up. And then niggas just doing what they doing. Like, oh, you didn't tell me. We didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
We want to talk about the vaccination. This is way more important than that. If you got a bad thing, it could be over.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? It can get real ugly.
Yeah, I think it's mind control. Yo, people, people. Like I was at work and I was driving, right, and I'm listening to the radio. I hate the radio because I like my own music and shit. Right. But I'm listening to the radio, and I promise you, bro, like every commercial, every 10 minutes,
it's about COVID.
All of them. Oh, it don't matter, Mike. It doesn't matter the station. All of them. COVID. Okay. They selling you COVID. Oh, yeah. They giving you bribes to take it. Yeah. They reminding you. They threatening you. They using fear. They using every single tactic. COVID. And I felt like people's attention. That's what we dealing with right now. We dealing with mind control on all levels because it's a war for your attention. Facts. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel like since people's attentions have been guided to COVID and vaccines, they forget about everything else. Everybody's
that's a topic of discussion because it's affecting money and like
absolutely it's right in front of our face, which I get.
Whatever affects the bottom line, it's in our face, and we got the flu season coming up. It's gonna be out there.
Flu season? What flu season? Remember that don't exist anymore because
COVID
season. Remember that's just flu disappeared.
COVID season. We don't call it the COVID season.
They don't even give out flu shots.
we don't need to.
Right.
Because if they do the flu, then COVID gonna look extra shaky. Now we gonna be like, damn, how we gonna get the numbers? Right. So you gotta make sure flu disappears so we could throw that all under COVID.
It's crazy the world works. It's crazy the
not even a topic. It don't exist.
It's crazy the way the world works because it's like they doing that because it's politicized and like more people are dying, so they like to promote that. And they always talk about how like the ICUs are getting filled up, but hospitals make money from the patients they get in. I know that because I work in a hospital. Like, so I see niggas be trying to squeeze in these fucking cases. I feel like just to get, so it's like even though they're saying like, yo, we don't want you filled to hospitals, but like at the same time, like they getting work for all these people going into
absolutely.
It's the same.
They still getting work. Like you know what I mean? Like
it's the same thing with prisons. So everybody was complaining about COVID is coming and COVID is here and the inmates are getting sick and people are dying, the inmates are dying and this, that, and the third, but they wasn't talking about the staff that was dying.
Talk about it.
So it's like staff is dying, you know what I'm saying, because of the COVID, but the inmates are a big reason. People's coming off the street, they homeless. They're not going to the doctor, they're not cleaning themselves, they're not in sanitary type of conditions, you know what I'm saying, like. So you come into this type of environment in jail, when you think jail, you already think it's a nasty environment.
And there's all types of spooky avenues for COVID to get into the jail. That's the part that they don't
gets there, but you still don't talk about the staff. When you talk about the money.
See?
Inmates bring the money. This is a multi-trillion-dollar corporation.
Keyword trillion.
Do they delegate some of those?
Let's be clear about what SG just said.
Yeah, went straight to trillion.
Let's jump right to trillion.
Do they delegate some of those finances to like psychologists and mental? Because I'm always reading in the newspaper like these inmates. I'm always reading about that shit. Like inmates going crazy, committing suicide. I was like, do they have like psychologists or shrinks in there?
They first year on.
Do they have shrinks in there? Like how's like? I feel like a lot of them need therapy.
He's like, I don't know about
that. I said, yo, there's CEOs, CEOs I know that make six figures they first year on. First year. With the overtime
with
and
everything.
And all that.
When the next text?
Probably now because it's a nasty time. It's working 24.
Niggas is working non-stop.
Niggas is working crazy. So you could be making some chicken, but what comes along with that six figure?
Your soul.
A lot. Your sanity. Your mental health.
Soul.
You know what I'm saying? A lot is.
And you know what?
Question.
You know what's deep that you say that? Oh,
my fault. as far as I know you actually started doing you did physical therapy. You did that. You participated in that.
Mental health therapy.
Mental health therapy.
Yeah,
did like the job contribute to like or was like just like what? Because like I got an appointment tomorrow. Shout out to you for the plug. But I'm like, what triggered you to sign up and like, yo, let me do this mental?
Shout out to my therapist who remains anonymous.
Yeah. But what was the trigger? Because I know that job could be.
I'm gonna be honest with you. An older person was like, yo, look, they're offering this service, like therapy services with everything that's going on, COVID, and just a lot of people were
seeking
a lot of older people. You know what I'm saying? They was going through things. So like last year with COVID, might have been more than 10, COs lost their life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
when the first hit, the 2020 years.
Sorry to hear that.
So it's like you got people losing their life from COVID, but then the underlying issues. And you come to work every day. We work 16 hours a day. I don't know what's going on with you. When he leave work, this is my man at work. But when we cross that bridge and he goes on Long Island and I go
his way, I go my way.
I don't know what's going on in his house. I don't know about his relationship. You know what I'm saying? We just talk. We like at work. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people are like that. But it was brought to my attention. Just about the importance of it. A lot of COs or just people in general, we don't really have an outlet. So you come to work, it's nasty. But you make the best of it.
Right.
And we think this is going to save us.
And that's definitely not the answer.
We think making 6 figures is going to save us. Or going on these trips, the Arubas and all that, that's going to save us.
Yeah, yep.
So it's like we really just, putting a coat, we putting a Band-Aid over a broken ankle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we're not really,
I just saw it. You got it?
we're not really solving the issue.
Yeah. It's like what they call that Band-Aid. We Band-Aiding it. You know what I'm saying?
Band-Aid and everything. So anyway, so I did it. So I was, just started looking about therapy and things like that. And when I was a kid, I had therapy in school, but it wasn't cool.
Like the social worker.
Yeah.
So social workers, they got the social workers in there.
It was therapy. Like it was like every seventh period, I would have to go, but it wasn't cool. You know what I'm saying? Because I was going through what I was going through.
Is it in the city or in Yonkers?
Yeah, Westchester.
Westchester?
You know what I'm saying? It was like 7th period, and I'd be like, I ain't going. He's older now. I'm good. I ain't going this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I weighed that off. You know what I'm saying?
In the '90s, it was different though. Like
it was, but I'm gonna get to it. So it's like it's not a cool thing to do.
Absolutely
so
not.
Now we fast
especially for men of our pigment skin.
That was a whole like issue that plagued us, the black community.
Yeah, it's like it's not cool. And
then you special ed.
Special ed. Like nobody calling me special ed, but it's like so Scott, can you 7th period you need to come see Miss Smith? It's like what you going to Miss Smith for? Alright, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so
you think that led to more problems that we could have avoided? As far
I'm gonna be honest, if I probably would have stayed in therapy through high school and through college, things could have been totally different.
That's a fact. I co-sign that too.
It could have been different.
So if we stayed in therapy through high school, because high school,
I needed therapy. I just had no idea.
That trifecta of years was
middle
different.
School, high school,
all of that, all those years.
No, they should offer more therapy in college. I agree with that.
Definitely.
If you go middle school, high school, college, is one word: transition. So like
through every juncture.
Middle school, you're going through puberty.
When you need as much counseling as possible, you hormonal.
I remember middle school, that 6th, 7th, and 8th those were the years. Cause like I went to high school. When I went to high school, I went to old boys high school. So it was like, but middle school that's where the hormones were raging because it was a public high school, boys and girls, and like. But I feel like that 6th to 8th, the age that we were, that was a critical year. I remember 8th grade was like.
I ain't even want to tell you
highly
how
sexualized. I remember 8th grade being highly sexualized.
Listen,
with the girls and the guys. Like,
you just touched on it.
You had to get one 8th grade graduation.
Yo, it was highly sexualized, bro. Like,
yo, the crazy part to me that I feel like all boys schools are unnatural because they're not preparing you to deal with the world with women on a day-to-day basis.
But most of the guys that went to all-boys school didn't enjoy going there. We only went there maybe.
No, but it's not about
our grades or our parents sent us there.
To me, it's not about enjoyment. It's just about social interaction. A lot of niggas that come out of there, they talk to women a type of way. They don't deal with women accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Okay. They're highly aggressive and they interact with women on a, you know what I mean?
Also, the fact that they didn't get to interact with deal with women while in school.
Once you eliminate that day-to-day interaction with a female,
on the perspective, because women went to all girls schools.
I feel the exact same way. Once you eliminate that interaction with the other sex on a day-to-day basis, now you're taking out your comprehensive learning with them, how you talk to them.
What do you feel about people who thought that having women there sometimes led to the
it's a distraction. I take the perspective of up to a certain age. I think I agree with like an all boys school or all girls school.
Isolation is good
until maybe 12, 13 when we're like considered, I guess, going into like puberty and becoming teens. And for my reason is I think boys, only speaking for boys.
Did you go to?
I did not.
Okay.
Right. But I feel like boys, from my perspective, need a certain level of discipline, focus, structure, and all of that. And I feel like with the right mentorship, and like especially if we speaking of young black boys before 13, right. With the right mentorship with adult males and strong figures around them, I could see how that would make sense in those years. And I think by 13 and up, now you have learned your discipline.
School, especially like not especially, but all boys and all girls school, hormones are raging there too.
Absolutely.
So like, guys were like, we pull up to the all girls school, all girl parties, like nigga after school, niggas would just go wait for these girls' schools.
Yeah, just to see them.
Like niggas like we be in class, hormones will be raging like.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I think it leads to a hypersexual, hypercharged.
And it could, Mike, because Mike, and you right because like what I'm saying, like you have to have that mentorship and leadership.
I used to feel on the let out when you got out of school out of All Hallows, my nigga.
That was like jail. Yeah. Yo, niggas, you step outside. Take the fucking tie off
and you charged up now.
Unless we're going to the girls' school, like we there, like ready, like
right.
We in school, niggas just cracking jokes. We really didn't want to be there.
Right.
At the same time, I saw how like at times you just focused on the task at hand because like
absolutely, I wouldn't say that.
I'm not gonna lie.
Most of the dudes I know that went to all boys school, they graduated college. They got jobs, they got careers, all of that. The dudes who I know when we was under 13 and we had access to the girls,
I hear you.
Our energy is different in terms of completing tasks. I'm just being real with it.
Okay,
I get it.
And now I'm saying, and that's even with a weird system, because we could get into the schools, of Catholic schools on top. We could get into that. Right. So that's why I mentioned a proper structure. I feel like black boys are supposed to be around men who of righteous nature to guide them and lead them, show them how to be men.
So
can you elaborate on the righteous nature?
You have a men's psychologist, a therapist in those schools?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Therapy was beneficial.
Definitely,
without a doubt.
Can you elaborate on a righteous nature?
Righteous nature. All right. When I say righteous, I don't want to make it sound all religious and
That's
stuff.
What I'm saying.
Righteous just means right.
Okay.
You understand? Doing the right thing as a man, right? So now I feel like boys should be around men who have, not saying that they've been right their whole life, but even like a Malcolm X, I might have did some things.
Right.
But I've come to the learning of through life that this is the right way. This is positive. If I deal with people positivity with a positive way, they're gonna deal with me the same way. You know what I'm saying? Just different light lessons, not on some like, do this because it's in this book. You get what I'm saying? Like not a religious perspective, but more like, yo, you're a man and we need you to protect and protect the girls, protect the women and the children. You know what I'm saying?
What you was gonna say?
Like as far as like therapy, so like going back to school, I didn't have male therapists in my school.
High school or college?
This was high school.
Okay.
So it wasn't no male therapist, and my therapist wasn't black.
I was about to elaborate on that.
So
if you had a male therapist, was even
I didn't have a male therapist.
Right.
I didn't have a black therapist.
Right.
It's like now you want me to talk to you at that age. I think 16. like I'm about to go to college. You know what I'm saying? So it's 16, 17 years old.
Right.
Now, and I can identify. You know what I'm saying? So I could just look at your skin and be like, you don't go through what I go through.
Yeah, you don't get it.
I want to elaborate on that point.
And that's
all of us growing
crazy.
up, though. All of us growing. That's bananas.
But that's not to say that.
Wait, so you don't think you can learn anything from a white therapist?
No.
Hold on, wait.
Hold on.
I'm gonna say no.
Now,
But go ahead.
but you're talking about 16 years old, 33.
Right.
You understand? So
Whole
the
different
way I
individual.
think now is not the way I thought then.
And
I don't think that.
As you're older, you need like a person.
Not even that, but when you're a kid, you resonate more with who look like you.
Absolutely.
As a kid.
So it's
That's who you look up to.
If Mike is my therapist, and then I got a white guy named Zach, who am I
who
going to
am I relate
gravitate
to?
to?
Right.
I'm going to gravitate towards him.
That's
Growing
my
up as an adolescent, but as an older person, you still prefer, like, you think, like, you need.
I mean, now.
What about having a white person give you a different perspective? Like, that's not gonna.
What perspective
That's
you
what I'm
can
about
give
to
me?
touch on. That's what I'm about to touch on. All of us growing up in the 90s.
Okay.
People in the therapy field, people in the school field.
white.
It was mostly white females, right or wrong.
That's a
How
fact.
many white male teachers you had? I can only remember one or two.
I ain't gonna lie, I had the privilege of having all black teachers throughout my life.
That's a blessing.
Because
That's a blessing.
from the Caribbean, when I came up here, my mom put me in an all black school.
That's a blessing. Where was this all black school? How
In,
do you get there? How
Manhattan.
can we get the kids there?
Manhattan, it's called Northeastern Academy. Shout out to my classmates if they
Is it
see
elementary
that.
school?
Not high school.
High school,
So it's
okay.
a Christian school.
Okay.
SDA to be exact, but
That's
it's
dope.
it's part of it's a black conference. So all the kids we had a couple Spanish kids there. I'm trying to remember if there was a white kid, but it was
They had a white boy.
Vast-
Anthony used to always tell me.
yeah. But you know what's crazy about him? His father was black. He was half white. He just looked very white, but his father was black.
Got it. They
So
always
that
like to
and
talk
that was
to
the
white boy that was
closest
white
we had
black.
to white. But our
There's
entire
always a talk
school,
white boy that's black,
principal
white boy
black, all the teachers black. We might have had one Spanish teacher. That's it.
Listen, pre-first grade.
And they was Afro Latina.
Pre-first grade, I was in the Haitian American Daycare Center, number 3. I was in Brooklyn. And that was a bunch of black females raising all us inner city kids. But then I've never been in any learning institution for more than 3 years in my life. So first grade, I went to St. Teresa of Avila. It was a Catholic school. And my teacher was a black woman. Second and third grade, I had 2 white female teachers. Ms. Blankoff, another one, I can't remember her
I can't
name.
even remember them.
Second and
names.
third.
That's crazy.
Right. 4th grade, I went to a Catholic school, 4th, 5th, and 6th up in the Bronx, Our Lady of Solace. 4th grade was Miss Amabile, 5th grade was Miss Hirschman, 6th grade was Miss Burke.
You an elephant, bro? How you remembering all this
All
vividly?
white women though.
Yeah.
No, I remember because when you bouncing around, you correlate the people to the schools, and that's the reason why it registers, you know what I'm saying?
Because I'm like, I
So
cannot
now,
remember that far
7th
back.
grade, I'm back to Brooklyn. I had Miss Kavon with Noah. That was where I met Kavon at. She was a white lady. She was tough white lady, but she was strict and she was a good teacher. But she was still a white lady. And the only man I had was in 8th grade,
Pause.
Mr. Mason.
Okay.
Pause.
Yeah.
Mr. Mason, and that was the only male figure in my whole elementary school experience. High school's a whole different dynamic because I went to public school freshman year, Catholic school sophomore, junior, and senior year, and I kicked out my senior year, and then went back to public school graduate.
That's gangster.
You know what I mean? But in that, the only male teacher, and he wasn't even a person of color. I haven't had a person of color teaching me anything since prior to 1st grade. And I feel like that's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I think
Crazy.
I think it's important for, and I'm gonna get back to the therapy, like my experience, but I think it's very important for, put it to you like this, right? When you go to Harvard, what you see?
What do you see in Harvard?
Right.
You go to MIT.
I wouldn't know. I haven't been there.
Yeah.
but this is public perception, it's public
Right.
record.
Absolutely.
Right? You know what I'm saying? You go to, fucking prestigious high schools, colleges. Typically, what you gonna get? You gonna get what look like the majority of the students.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You might have a lot of the Middle Eastern and the Asian, majority white. that be the staff. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like with us, you know, it has to be more of a focus to have what we resonate with,
Absolutely,
what we identify with.
Absolutely.
You understand? It's like
but that's by design as well. Why we don't run into
absolutely because it start with even our beliefs. Our beliefs is what bring us together. If the vast majority of us believe in Christianity and we agree, I don't care what we could debate about, you know, what Jesus, what color he was. We agree that this white Jesus can get it passed.
It's funny you say that white Jesus shit. Yo, son, I was seeing white Jesus the whole 90s. I ain't even know. You know what I'm saying? That's impossible.
Yes.
Until I was a teenager.
Yes. I mean, I used to tell people that I'm like, yo, close your eyes and picture Jesus. What comes to your mind? That image.
Hair, blue-eyed Jesus,
so that shows how powerful that is,
that
bro.
Influence is different.
It's different.
But see, it goes like we was talking about Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? I used to always read Malcolm X books. You know what I'm saying? I was reading Malcolm X.
As every young black man should.
I was reading him more than Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't know.
I was reading
that was
a lot
my guy.
of Martin Luther King.
Malcolm X is my guy. You know what I'm saying?
Without question.
Well, yeah.
You know, when you read the Malcolm X books and you know he points out certain words, and this was even in the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Which movie?
The Malcolm X movie.
The Spike Lee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Spike joint?
The Spike Lee joint. You know what I'm saying? So we have this idea of what Jesus looked like. You know what I'm saying? And then you go into the dictionary. What does white say? What does black say? Like the definition, the color makes one look better than the other.
Absolutely.
So it's like we was always taught that this type of people was better.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And we agreed to it.
And we just agreed to it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just like
Chef Romey. Rome.
okay.
Chef Romey.
You know what I mean? Like
Hey, shit, regular.
you know what I'm saying?
What's good?
Boulevard 86, that's a good brand.
What you know about that?
I got a couple of hoodies. That's my guy. Y'all
Damn,
Kelly.
that's
Dime, right? Yup. That's
Shout out
a
to
fact.
Don. Yeah. He pricey.
Yeah, that's a
Pricey.
that's a bro. That's a small world, bro. Small world, yo.
Get around.
Let's talk about like mental health and all of that.
But what I was alluding to is that we all had.
You pulled up at the right time because I want to get that down south perspective on a few things that we talking
grew
about.
up, you know what I'm saying? Like the perception was just Jesus is white is like, not a racist or anything like that.
Yeah.
But you just keep hearing like this is just what it has to be.
Absolutely.
Like, why?
Yeah.
On the ground, for sure. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But then let's tie it back into the therapy. So it's like you already being told that the creative man, the big dog,
Yeah. The creator of all existence
is this.
is this. Yep.
So it's like that shit.
Then what that make me?
It's like what that make me?
Absolutely.
Oh, a little bit. I mean, that's man.
Yeah. And kids pick up on those subtle.
Pick up on those things. So I get back to just being in therapy in school was like I always just saw somebody trying to fix my problems that didn't look like me, didn't talk like me, didn't like to do the shit that I did, didn't have the same background and shit like that. So fast forward to now, therapy like. I ain't gonna say I did it because it was cool because I was doing it before, but now it's definitely a cool thing to do, and I think it's cool because you see everybody on social media.
Absolutely.
That's
the difference. Yeah.
It's a difference.
But you feel good
It's a
doing it.
different
though.
time.
You feel like it's a benefit.
Yeah, it's more talked about. Like
It's more talk. It's more.
I know it's talked about, but how do you feel
But
individually?
Individually,
Because I don't care what
with
people talk about.
With therapy, you see the difference in how it would affect everyday life. Whether you're a parent, you know what I'm saying. We all have relationships. How you deal with women, you know what I'm saying? You might do certain things with women and not know where that shit stem from.
Right.
So having to talk to somebody who's like
Some major key.
some intermediary who
right.
doesn't have a bias. You talking to somebody
There's
really.
nobody, like I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like my
There's no bias
therapist-
with her.
Our therapist, she don't know me from a can of paint, but we got the same skin complexion. You know what I'm saying? So values might be the same.
Absolutely.
Beliefs might be the same.
and the struggle.
And the struggle, but
Struggles.
she's not here to. She ain't here to agree with me. You understand? She here to get me to talk.
Be objective.
Be objective to what I'm saying, and then if I'm tripping, she gonna say, "Oh, Scott, you tripping with this, you tripping with that." You understand? But I feel like you know, the therapy is so many. It's so beneficial. Like, I look forward to going to therapy on Thursday. I look forward to going to therapy like I go to the gym every day.
As you should.
That's what I'm looking. That's mental. That's a mental workout. That's what I'm looking forward to. Like that's a part of life. Like, all right, I feel good. I'm enlightened. Like something I need because that's something I'm lacking right now. Oh my god. Yo, put the fucking camera on those shits.
That looks
motherfucker.
That looks incredible.
But yeah, that's
so
what I'm
like,
looking. That's what I'm looking into.
Therapy is like
Smells crazy.
you have
good.
the
Crazy good.
when I first started it, it was like the anxiety because I don't like to talk to people I don't know. So therapy won't work if you don't do that.
That's a big fact, man.
That's deep.
I don't want to talk about anybody. Y'all know me.
Yeah, that's it.
I
That
will
shit.
grill you until I don't know this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking, but I'm paying attention to how everybody moves and shit like that.
You observe the room.
She was open. Yeah, I'm observing the room, but she was open. You know what I'm saying? And made me feel comfortable to talk about things I thought I'd never speak to anybody about.
How many sessions have you had?
I've been going to therapy since May 1st.
Okay.
It's powerful.
Hell yeah. And she just talks to, everything with like my personal life, you know what I'm saying? Work, my goals, aspirations, just it puts things in a different type of perspective. Like I don't think I ever did, but it definitely don't make you feel like you got a one-track mind.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
a lot of us come from the
We
city.
looking
come from that like, we're just gonna do this.
John, we good with
This
okay.
is ill. Like therapy is
Don't get me
great.
wrong. Let me ask you, being from, would you say? Because you would say you from the South or you from up north? Like, what you?
I'm gonna go where I was raised, and I'm gonna say the South.
You was raised in the South. From what age to what age?
I say 6 until probably like 16. Then I moved to Connecticut. Then I moved back down south to graduate. Then high school graduation. That's when I moved to New York.
All right, so
When in
is it
Connecticut you was at?
Norwich.
Norwich.
Like by Mohegan and Foxwoods.
Oh, Mohegan.
So you got a strong
Diversity,
decade.
you was everywhere.
Yeah,
South, north, the
north.
city, yeah.
So you got a strong decade in the South, though.
Correct.
All right. So in that experience, I want to touch on that experience. How many people of color did you have as authority figures, as far as teachers,
Authority
guidance
figures, like teachers and
counselors,
stuff like that.
Teachers, though, in schools.
Mainly counselors and teachers, like
counselors
prominent
and
figures.
teachers, right?
Because we talking
That
about
can influence your mental.
that could help you.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that did influence you. To this
I
day.
say about 60 to 40.
60.
Minority to Caucasian.
Minority 60. Okay, 60. That's good though. That's a good ratio.
Incredible.
I told you he was gonna
That's
get a
incredible.
different joint. All right, Joe went to a Christian school. He had black teachers in high school.
Yeah, and
Prior
then
to that-
then I was in the Caribbean, so
Prior to that, he
Trinidad,
was in
you know what I'm saying, is majority
solely
black.
black
Yeah,
people.
president
place.
was black. Yeah,
You know what I mean? He's in the South in America.
In the
60-40 in the 90s.
So you didn't expect that? You didn't expect that?
No. I
I'ma
knew
be honest,
it was
I
going
didn't
to be
expect
different.
that.
I knew it was going to be different from our experience being up north.
Okay.
You know what
He
I'm
said
saying?
60-40, so which means it's more of
It's
us.
more of
I
us
wouldn't expect
down
it.
there.
Okay. Because it's
That's
crazy we
good.
having this conversation because like I remember my black teachers, like my middle school teacher, Chris
How
Chris
many?
Williams. We like all right. We had
How many though?
if like in terms of middle school, probably like 2 or 3. But
Okay.
it was more. It was like out of 10 teachers maybe. And like high school, the Catholic school, there was 2 African American study teacher. He was a black teacher who taught. He was the one who taught us about Emmett Till, like. And like that day when I learned
shit
about that,
shook your world, right?
when I learned about that, bro, like going outside of school fucked me up. Like
That's
going
powerful.
outside of school fucked me up.
Because I was gonna say something like that too.
wait,
Because
fuck me up a
we
little
might
bit.
have black
Wait, wait.
teachers, but
Say
they
it
might
though.
be.
Say it though.
So I remember like in school, my favorite subject at the time was it was English, and I always loved history. Just to talk about.
I had African American history and history. We didn't talk about African American history and history because it was 2 different things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's 2 different things. The history they were
So
talking about that
Let's
shit.
talk New York State shit. It was global.
Okay.
Yeah,
Freshman year.
Right.
Then it was
This is New York City shit.
like whatever it was, 10th grade, like whatever. Global, it was like Global 1, Global 2 type shit.
Yeah, I remember
I
global.
was only interested in Global 1 and Global 2 in February. because I knew that's what we was going to talk about. But I hated it because my teacher was white.
See?
How are you telling me about Emmett Till?
Yeah.
How are you telling me about
you teaching
Malcolm
like
X
shit like that, like.
and then Martin Luther King? But why are you only talking to me about those three people?
Yeah, and then your perspective
You're not
might be
talking to me
watered
about-
down too. I don't even know if I trust
watered
it.
down. So it's like you're not teaching me.
The real.
You're not teaching me the real. You teach me a curriculum.
Yeah.
You're teaching me what's going to pass this test.
And I was going to add on that too. It depends too on the teacher, because I've had black teachers, but a lot of them are whitewashed. They're Eurocentric in the way how they teach.
Stop right.
So it's not just because they're black that I'm like, in those black.
And
go back to
so I want to get back to your 60%. How many of them touched, like, had an influence on you?
Even to this day, like in the career
How
path you're
many of
taking
them
on.
registered with you?
For
of
me,
that 60%?
one sidebar. Rest in peace, Mr. Bowen. He literally like 2 days ago they posted that. Yo, rest in peace, yo.
We gonna get there.
I know.
We got that.
That's a fact.
I say I ain't gonna hold you. Majority of them did, and I think to
The
this day I still
majority
go back.
of the 60% of them.
'cause-
And you still fuck with them to this day, you saying?
Yeah, because they saw me in a different light that nobody else saw me.
See?
You understand?
Yeah.
Like, you know,
That's
whatchamacallit, rest in peace, my ISS teacher, Miss Black. This was a lady that
This is an African American lady.
Yeah. She's. I'll tell you how impacted the situation was to where I didn't drive like everybody else did. You understand? Like I said, I was just raised in a different
High
way.
school?
Yeah, high school.
Okay.
You know, I walked or got a ride or whatever. So it was to the point where I wasn't about to graduate at all. She made it her business to pick me up on the way to school. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, she was a person that was with the whole baking and cooking and stuff like that. So she would kind of be like, yo, you a superstar. Like, she would kind of like...
She would put those seeds in your head.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Because
You need that.
I would do.
She was
I
black?
would brush my hair, have a paint lotion in
She was
my
black?
back pocket. Huh?
She was black.
She was black.
Like, see, like she planted those seeds
She
early.
sees something in it. Yo, Dr. Umar alluded to that too, you know, because when
Black
you
teachers
have...
gonna go the extra mile for a black student.
Absolutely. When you have, especially black men...
They should.
Absolutely.
Some don't.
Yeah.
Don't.
Some make it a little bit too personal
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
to make you resent them as well. You
They
understand?
on you more than they
They
should
on
be.
you too. Why your
Shit,
fan? Why you
son,
on
I'm
my
best
back?
at treat-
And it's probably how they own you too. How you...
Stupid, yeah. I just saw the last episode of Raising Canaan. That's another story, though. That's another story.